Good day. This is the day that the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. Welcome again to a session on living by strategy, which I've been sharing. Your host, Professor Emeritus Stephen Ade. For the last two sessions, we have been looking at the power of vision. By vision, we're talking about a clear picture of a preferred future that captures today to drive the future. In other words, a vision is the equivalent of the architect's impression of a building before the first stone is laid. To quote Miles Monroe, a vision is a clear picture of a preferred future, a distinct direction or approach of accomplishing one's mission. And I like Peter Drucker when he says that the best way to predict the future is to create it, to have a future of what you want the future to be and go about bringing it into being. All of us are better off if we have a compelling and worthy vision to drive our day-to-day living. Of course, a vision is not a pie in the air, something that you are not likely to accomplish. However, it must be audacious and change your status quo. And your vision most likely will fit into your stage of life. And my recommendation in the earlier session is that our vision, especially after we go through the teenage years, should be at an average of 10 years apiece. I also share the importance at the personal level to have a double vision, a vision of what you want to become and things you want to accomplish. It is very, very tempting for you to have all your visions set in terms of money, buildings, qualifications, and the rest, and forget the character aspect. And that's what I call the vision of being. And many will have their vision coming out of the things that annoy them, or things that make them happy, or inspiration from the Lord, advice from some mentor. Whatever the vision source, it is important that you capture it in a way that will drive your behavior and actions within the vision period. It must be futuristic, it must be compelling, it must change your status quo, and it must be exciting enough for you to put in the necessary energy. We also shared that such a vision will facilitate your purpose, it will give you hope, it will allow you to weather today's limitations and challenges and promote self-discipline. A good vision will also allow you to mobilize helpers and make sure that the vision comes to being. At least, if you're a Christian, it will be the focal point of your personal prayer life, so that you don't say that God bless me. No, it says, God, you have given me this vision and I want you to help me to accomplish it. Unfortunately, having 10-year vision or thereabout is not common, especially in our part of the world. We tend to have a short-term view of life. There are so many uncertainties in the macroeconomic and social environment. People give up thinking 5, 10, 15 years ahead. And of course, many people say that, there's so much that I have to do, present needs, for me to be thinking about 10 years. The fact is that if you don't plan and think ahead, 10 years' time, you are likely to be worse off than today. And of course, occasionally there are others who may not wish you well, We call it PhD here, pull him down syndrome. But you are able to deal with them better if you know where you are going. If you don't know where you are going, every road is good. And that's also don't vision long term because of the fear of failure. If I say I'm going to do this and I don't accomplish it, the question is this: it is your vision. And I have found that those who plan and vision ahead accomplish twice more than those who don't. And in any case, I would rather like to have a vision and work towards it and not meet it than not have any. In my personal life, I've found that, on the other hand, because we are not used to visioning, I've always underestimated what I can accomplish in 10 years. And when I set it out, invariably, I exceed it. But one of the things that will make many people give up on vision is indiscipline. And many don't want to discipline their appetite, discipline their financial management, discipline their mind, discipline their resources in order to achieve a goal. And in any case, when you want to do a 10-year vision, you must have faith. Faith not only in your abilities, but if you're a Christian, in you are being able to achieve it with God. It is always important to try your hand of your vision of being and your vision of accomplishment. Let me illustrate. For example, if you're a 60-year-old, which I'm not, I'm 76, but I did it when I was 60, that by the time I'm 70, there is certain social, spiritual growth. In other words, Stephen Adair at 60 compared to Stephen Adair at 70, I should have grown in integrity, in faith, and character, and in my contribution to society. It is my vision of what I want to become as an individual. But I had also visions of accomplishment. I had a financial goal. I have intellectual goal. I write a lot of books. I had a goal of the books I wanted to accomplish within the 10 years. These are specific vision elements, which we'll be talking about when we come, especially in translating vision into goals. Therefore, I would like to encourage all my listeners, if they have a pen or paper around, to try to answer a question of this nature, the twofold vision. First, the vision of being. Say, in 10 years' time, of course, if you are a younger one, 5 years may do. Some may be bold enough to go to 15 or 20 years. I, Susanna, would like to be this person, a married family person who has made this progress in my career and making this contribution to society. That's what you want to become. But within it, you also have to have visions of accomplishment, and we will come back, especially when we are doing the goals setting, that I want to financially reach this person, this level. I want in my intellectual life to reach this level. I want in my marriage to reach this level, and on, specific accomplishments, so that your vision of being will be undergirded by your vision of accomplishment. And if you are doing so, the reason why you cannot borrow somebody's vision, that is that it must be peculiar to you. Even though there are certain things that will guide you, given your stage in life. For example, if you are under 25 years, personal and development and capacity building is most important, because that will form the foundation for the rest of your life. Growing in spirit, in wisdom, in stature, and in favor with God and man. personal development and capacity building are better aimed at and accomplished as much as possible while you are young. Of course, you can and you must continually build yourself, study, continuous learning, and the rest. But the foundations of most people's life are laid in the first 25 years. Occasionally, there are late bloomers, but you don't have many Moseses in the world. If you are, say, 25 to 40, if you are crafting your vision, you must be looking at your profession, your family, your network. If you're a Christian, your ministry. This is the age you are strong. Most people, even those who have health challenges, do have them after their 50s or so. And this is a wonderful years, 25 to 40 years. And by the way, they are your middle years, because most people will not be around after 60 to 70, 80, 40 being twice 40 being 80. When you get to the mature years, 40 to 60, most people's vision will be crafted around their family, their work, becoming managers and leaders in society. I love the 40 to 60, and a lot of people can make great contribution in these years, provided they are guided by a clear vision. Those of us who are in our twilight years know that even though you'll be asked to go on pension at 60, real life begins at 60. It's there. You are legacy building years you are mentoring others. People look to you. At least you are presumed to be wise unless you prove yourself otherwise. And these days, by God's grace, because of health, people are living beyond 70 into their 80s. I call them the pillars of faith. At that time, you have accomplished a lot, but there's still more, and especially telling the next generation of the goodness of the Lord. Now, why don't we try to do something about writing down? And let me tell you, if you have no written down vision, you have no vision. So let us try to write down our vision. And let me read a section, 2 pages, in my book, Living by Strategy on Writing a Personal Vision. It is never, and this is a quotation from the book, it is never too late to craft an audacious vision for oneself. Even in your old age, remember the latter-day achievers like Abraham, who started a family at 100 years old, Moses, who led for 40 years at 80 years old, Caleb, who had a different spirit and a different attitude at the age of 85, asking God to give him a territory to possess. His uncompromising faith in God earned him a lasting reward. Wordsworth, who relentlessly continued to write the Prelude from age 28 until his death at 80, must have been a man of great vision, and he wanted to do that, and he left a legacy. People like our own Ghanaian president, Akufo-Addo, Donald Reagan, all became presidents after the age of 72. In fact, most personalities we esteem, both in biblical times and contemporary times, made their greatest contribution in very few years. And let me tell you, if you are listening to me, your best lies in the future. But that must be catalyzed by crafting today a personal vision. So let us take a paper and a pen if you can. If not, you listen to me and you go home or go to your office, you can do that. Because at the end of the day, you are personally responsible for crafting a compelling vision to guide your life. Now let us try it. First, the vision of being. Could you say and complete this sentence? I'm talking to people who are probably older than 25 and definitely 70 thereabout. This bracket, that as a person, and you can write that down, as a person, in 10 years from now, I want to be or I want to become. And then you continue it. Let me repeat it. As a person, in 10 years from now, I want to become or be, and then complete it. I remember at 60, I said that I'm retiring formally as rector of Ghana Institute of Management and Public Administration. But by 70, I want to accomplish as much as I did in the last 25 years of my professional life. That was quite a serious challenge, but thank God, whether about intellectual output, whether it was about financial accumulation, in between 60 and 70, I accomplished almost as much as my the preceding 25 years. In fact, many people do not know that it is only those 10 years that I became a full-time teaching professor, first 5 years at Pentecost University and 5 years at Ashesi University. Then comes the vision of accomplishment, because what you want to become is a bigger one, but you need to anchor it with certain things you want to do, major things, and that dovetails into goals. And I will be talking about the goals when we come to next session in detail. In other words, what you want to be must be translated into a vision of accomplishment that, for example, even though I didn't start it when I was in 60, about the middle of my 60s, I tweeted it. And one of the things I wanted to do was to write a devotional on every chapter of the Bible over the next 10 years. I have about 4 years to go, and it will be done. One of the things I said that, look, I've been teaching personal financial management for a long time and telling people the way to become millionaires. At 60, I wasn't a millionaire in Ghanaian sense. I will explain what I mean by Ghanaian sense. So I said that the 10 years ahead, I must become financially a millionaire. And when I say a Ghanaian sense, I'm not talking about in America. When we talk about a millionaire, it's all your assets, your building, your cars, and other things. When you take from it, that's your net worth, all that you owe, or your liabilities, what is left, then you become a millionaire. But a Ghanaian with a house in my village, you may value, if you value it $1 million, it is of no use because we don't sell houses which you have built in my village. Period. You live in it, you die, and leave it behind. So therefore, it cannot be part of your millionaire. That's Americans can do that one because they have a mobile house. When they live in this town, when they are moving to another town, they sell that house and go and buy another one, which is a very good tradition. But look, if you are, say, an Akim man coming from, say, Kokorantumi, your house in Kokorantumi, like mine in Hiremwasi, is a family house after you die. You don't. So what I mean by a Ghanaian millionaire is that your liquid assets should be $1 million. And thank God, it was accomplished. I slaved by a few months, but hey, who can say the future? You are predicting the future to the dot. No, but again, intellectually, what are you Many people don't know that after 60, I'm using the 60. Why? Because many people give up life. When they are 60, they retire and are waiting for the day they will die. And they don't develop intellectually. You have an engineer, an accomplished engineer, probably with a master's. At 60, that's why you go and teach in a technical university with all your accomplishments. And because the university can engage you until you are 70. But for me, it is people who are the 25 to 60 who must take on board that, so the vision of both your being and accomplishment will catalyze. Let me conclude by saying a good vision is like a picture of the destination before you start your journey. The picture of a bright future in a distant period of 5, maybe 10, 15, or 20 years. We emphasize that when it comes to personal organization or leading and managing your life, you must have 2 types of vision for each period of your life. What you want to do as a person, or visions of accomplishment or vision of doing, and what you want to be as a human being, especially a Christian and a child of God. The 2 are closely related, but they are not the same. Without articulating a personal vision, you must as well have Osibise's song as your personal national anthem. Heaven knows where you are going, but we know we will. The fact is that if you don't know where you are going, most likely you are going nowhere, or at best heading to a destination that you do not want. The worst part is that you may mislead others to try and follow you. May you articulate a personal vision that is so exciting that when you wake up in the morning, you want to do something to bring it about. I remember when I took over the leadership of the Ghana Institute of Management and Public Administration in 1999, my vision was to transform a civil service training school into a world-class center of excellence for training in leadership, management, and administration. And by God's grace, we achieved that in 9 years before I exited GIMPA on my retirement. I hope I had time to share my vision from 70 to 80, which I'm ending the 6th year by December, and 4 exciting years to complete it. Then I'll have my vision from 80 to 90. If while implementing it, Jesus calls me to heaven, hallelujah, I would have accomplished what he gave me to do. And going home to heaven will be a greater delight because I lived by my vision. The Lord be with you till we meet again next week. And I will be moving from the power of vision to how you translate your mission and vision into smart goals that will drive your day-to-day actions and accomplishments. Please continue to listen to me on Z101, ZFM 101.9 every Saturday at 8 a.m. And as usual, meet me on Professor Emeritus Stephen Ade YouTube channel. We will try to be there every week with a new message and encouragement for you to live by strategy. Shalom, and God be with you.